This takes a lot of courage right now because we're not even on like the best terms. We haven't spoken since last night. You're getting like real raw.
Yeah.
Like this is marriage. Like we're still showing up even though we're not on good terms.
What the fuck is up? Back at it again with my special guest, the Alfords. How's it going?
How you doing?
Good. How
Good,
are you doing?
good. How are we doing?
Couldn't be better on a Friday night.
Yeah, just another Friday, just another week.
Sounds good. So give the people a little bit about yourselves.
Okay.
Ladies first, I would assume.
Hi everybody. My name is Charlene and I've been with Nino for 6.5 years next month, and we'll be married for 2 years in August this year. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Nino. Like she said, been together for 6.5 years. Feels longer. But yeah.
So, how is married life? Well, we'll get into that. We're going to get a little deeper into that. But some history on yourself. Where you grew up.
Okay. So I actually grew up in like the Daly City area, went to South City High, and then did my college career at SF State 4 years.
Go Gators.
Yep. Oh yeah, you went there too. Mm-hmm. That's right. I remember now. And then I got my master's at UNR, which is Nevada, Reno. Did it all online during the pandemic, and yeah, so pretty successful. Master's in public health.
What did you, like what
I'm not
aspirations do you
actually using it right now, so I teach at a school, an elementary school. Excuse you, sir. And so I teach TK through 6th grade right now. And in the future, I think I want to try like working in a hospital setting. I just don't know like what kind of job I want to use my master's for.
Was that the goal, like when you actually got?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of different career paths you can take with a master's like that, so that's why I like pursued it. But also I got my bachelor's in the same thing, so I thought like it'd be an easier path doing something I already have knowledge and background in.
Have you, well, I guess you're not knowing, but do you feel like it's kind of hard to find a job?
Yeah, I think in general nowadays it's just hard because like before they would say you need at least a bachelor's, and then if you wanted to make even more money, a master's would help. But now I feel like even a master's isn't enough, and they're just looking for experience now. But if I was in school during those years trying to get my master's degree, then how was I supposed to get the experience that they're now looking for? So I'm kind of like screwed in this position. So yeah.
So, to those of you that think it's just black people that have to deal with that, it's not. Because that's all I heard when you were just saying that. Like, black people always say, oh, we got too much education. We don't have enough education. It's not just us. You are a minority.
I think it's a minority in general, yeah.
So, we don't have the luxury of nepotism. It's hard for all of us. So, we should be kinder to one another. Moral of the story.
Perfect.
Yourself.
I don't really have much of a background like she does in education. Dropped out of college. What was that? 23? I dropped out of college.
I mean, you have an AA though. That counts.
No, you graduated.
He didn't go further than that, but yeah.
I didn't go further than the AA.
You got a degree, brother.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest accomplishment. I mean, going off of what she was saying, the whole education background thing. Not being able to use her degree. I mean, I kind of took that at 23. It was like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna go work full time, go from there. Obviously, at first I wanted to get my education, but it just didn't work out. Couldn't do it. 5.5 years at DVC and so on. No, I couldn't do it. School's not my thing. So then went to work full time. Then in the middle of that, pursued basketball at the same time. Then ended up playing professionally in Italy for 2 years. That's probably my biggest accomplishment in life, especially from not playing high school and college, teaching myself with a little help from her brother, and getting to the, wouldn't say the highest level, but one of the highest
When you
levels
was
in
made it
Europe.
pro. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Shit.
mean, you can put a title of that name. I mean, I got a good amount of friends I grew up with, you know, private bankers and all that type of stuff, doctors and all that, everything, but to be able to say I was a professional, I'm a retired professional basketball player is something I can
Yeah. Because I know
hang on to.
hearing with my friends being bankers and doctors and shit, I'd be a little bit discouraged at the point that I am in my life.
Yeah.
Like if that was my friend group, and I was like, oh shit, I'm the one not.
Yeah.
I got a podcast.
Yeah.
So,
And you don't know what like judgments they might be having and not saying straight to your face.
yeah.
You know?
But so how was it in Italy?
It's the best experience of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half Italian. I have dual citizenship out there. Um, that's not the reason why I love it. It's just how I go at life, the speed out there, and and how the vibe is out there in Italy is more my vibe. Um, I know I was out there, wouldn't say temporarily, but obviously like from one season I was there for 8 9 months, another season I was there for another 9 months ish, so it's close to 2 years. So I knew that it wasn't going to be a forever thing. I know in the future I plan on buying property out there, not to live out there full time, but just to have an option. But it's beautiful. Like you can read about it, you can see it online and everything, but like
But being there is-
living it is completely different. Like it's completely different, and that's like, and what's crazy is that it took. I was 28 years old to like fully like be able to be in Italy. Like I traveled in Europe when I was younger, but it's like 7 or 8 years old.
right.
But like I can't remember if we went to Italy or not. But like being able as a grown up to finally be able to
Like embrace your culture.
embrace my culture and see what that culture is, and then like meeting the people out there, because Italy gets a lot of backlash for how they treat people. I saw a little bit, but it's more than just that. The people I was around, like, it's just they're all loving. They care. They treat you like family, as if you're one of them. I mean, that's why I miss it out there. It's been a year. Yeah, it's been a year since I've been back.
Since April, yeah.
So it's like, and there's not a day I don't think about Italy at all. Whether it's basketball, life, friends, culture, just everything. Like I just miss it.
Could they call you to play on the Olympic team, or would you still be on the American team?
I mean, technically they could. I wouldn't say I was like I'm good. Don't get me wrong, but like to play on the Olympics, like those guys are like.
But who do you
Exceptional.
cheer for when they're playing?
Oh.
USA or Italy? Who are we gonna cheer for?
I mean, I'm
Really watch it.
I mean,
Oh, you probably watch it because you play basketball.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It's Team USA. I mean, it's the best team in the world. But now that, like, the last 2 years being in Italy, like I have citizenship, like, and I have friends out there now that I consider family. Like, I feel like it's respectable that I have to represent both. But I mean, obviously I've lived in America my entire life, so that's always gonna be the edge there. But I mean, in the Olympics, World Cups, and all that type of stuff, never gonna root against Italy.
Yeah, right. You been around any like American superstars as far as basketball? Like, have you played against any here?
I've played not like crazy, like, I'm trying to
I
think.
mean, I'd say the people in the pro-am. There are
I mean,
sometimes
I
the guests that show
yeah,
up.
I mean, there's a lot of Bay Area name guys. I would say that more. I'm not gonna name drop, but like you know, I'm not like. And then there's some guys that played in the NBA. I've played against like I'll name drop the NBA guy like Kai Bowman. Um, who else?
I don't know. None
Like
come up.
I
Like,
play against so many
at the
basketball
top of
players
my
that it's like
head, but
it's
yeah.
not even like it's not like it doesn't phase me. Like I don't I like you know I play professional hoop, so it's like I go out there and do my job. So it's like, but like I said, though, I played against a lot of people that are played in the NBA or G League, D1, D2, overseas, all that.
So it's never too late. Like he said, he didn't play basketball in high school or college, but he still went pro. So there's opportunity out there, but it also obviously took some discipline on your part, some motivation wherever you found that out.
1,000%.
To
I
do
mean,
that.
Some
even
sacrifice.
Sacrifice for
even
sure.
you know,
We're getting into that next.
I was just getting ready to get into that. Like you know, what's crazy is that I met her 6 years ago, right? So 6 years ago, I'm 30 now. So yeah, but like I was 24ish, and I was just like I said, the possibility of playing professional was just starting to jump, right? But I started to learn a lot more what I needed to do, right? And I needed a lot of help. Without her sacrifice, I would not have gotten overseas. You know, she filmed all my games out here, and by the way, I'm not losing my voice because I'm getting emotional. I'm just losing my voice. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, she filmed all my games, whether she wanted to or not. But she wanted me to be happy. She wanted me to be successful at this and get to my goal and dreams. And she's a big part of my professional career. So
You guys are making me blush.
It goes both ways though. Like I did sacrifice a lot, especially like having the kid and like that part we'll get into later on, I'm sure. But like at the same time, he was also supportive during the time I was getting my master's degree because that wasn't easy to go through. And like for some couples, you know, like the pandemic was make it or break it. Like spending that much time together, especially for like fresh couples who like were just moving too fast, but then we only had like a few years under our belt by that time. So for him to like support me during a time where like I was really having a hard time with like getting back to school because I took a year off, right? So it's not just like easy to take as many classes as I was and then at an even higher level than what I've already experienced.
Right.
It's like I did need that support as well. So like it goes both ways with the sacrifice.
So, do y'all feel like the having to do the long distance relationship actually helped in that aspect? Because you like cooped up together during the pandemic and then.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah, we were spending a lot of time together and then had to like do the long distance.
I don't think she'll agree 100%. I thought that the long distance helped us. I mean, to me, I mean, I'm used to being. I'm not used to being by myself. I'm obviously I've heard, but like if I went to a different country, like I did, and it was just me, I'm not going to, in no disrespect, I'm not gonna like get emotional over it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm by myself. Like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I kind of like block out that part of my emotions or whatever. And I kind of think of what I'm doing and what it's going to provide in the future.
The benefits of it, yeah.
Like, obviously, so she got pregnant during my first season in Italy. When she told me she got pregnant, I was in Italy, and she was back at home. When she told me she was pregnant, it was like, oh, okay, like things are gonna start changing, right? But like now I'm thinking of what I'm doing. It's like we had plans for this, right? But now it's coming fast now, right?
Facts.
And now
It came out as
what
hard.
what made it easier for me was, okay, what I'm doing is going to be able to possibly be something for our future child. At that point we didn't know what the gender was, but what I'm doing is going to be able to benefit that child in the future to something I didn't have when I was his age, or what was difficult for me to get to that point. As he gets older, it could be easier for him or her. So it's like, yeah, it was hard. I missed her first trimester. I missed her third trimester.
Which are the two hardest ones,
But
you know.
I know that she knows that it was hard for me not being able to be there. But I still had to be a professional at the end of the day. I had to go to practices. I had to go work out. I had to eat right and this, and that, and go play. Otherwise, I would get fired.
Right.
And everything I worked for 5 years at that point could just be taken away in the snap of a finger.
I think that was like the hardest part of our relationship though, is doing long distance. Like we had never been apart up until we had to be apart. And it wasn't like he was in another state and I can just like go visit, or he's not in like SoCal and I could just drive down there. It was like an 11-hour flight, and then like all of the anxiety that comes with him potentially missing me giving birth to our first child, that was like on my mind a lot. And I think that was like the root cause of most of the arguments that came about while he was away, and just like me having all this resentment towards him of like, you're not even here to support me, we both made this decision, like, you know, why is it just me having to deal with everything? And then like the selfish part of me that's like not understanding he's there for a job and that he's like still providing in the best way he can. But it is like, I think long distance is hard when it's night and day, and then you have to figure out like, are you going to make time for this person and is it worth it? And at what point of your day are you going to do that, right? Like to squeeze him in while I'm driving home from work, you know, before he goes to sleep. When he's going to practice, I'm going to sleep. It was a 9-hour time difference. And so it wasn't like easy to communicate. And then like if we weren't getting along, then it was like, well, this is a waste of an hour that we have out of the day to talk to each other, because now we're just mad. And then when are we gonna talk again? You know, so it was just like not being able to go see him and fix the problem. Like, because you know how when you see someone and then you're like more willing to fix it because you can like physically hug each other or like do something like that, or like hold each other's hand and then it feels better. But if they're not there and then you guys are like arguing, how do you fix it? How do you get over it over FaceTime? You just can't. Right, but we did it. I mean, obviously,
Right. Yeah,
you can, because we got through it and we're still together, obviously happily married with a child, but it's like all of the work that we had to put in to make sure that like we both were seeing it through and thought it was worth it to like continue. You know, it's like decisions that you have to make that are so hard when they're away.
Right.
I mean, I do feel like though in every relationship there has to be a challenge at some point.
Oh yeah.
Challenge, even
Definitely
whether it's a relationship or just or a marriage. Like I think that was our biggest challenge, and I mean, and keep in mind, I mean, prior to me leaving, I mean, like she said, I mean, we were always together, right? Like we were seeing each other every day.
Yeah.
Maybe like one day we don't see each other, but like
If that.
But like we were seeing each other every day, and it was like I wouldn't say we needed like, not saying we needed a break, but it was just like
space for us
like,
to be us individually.
Yeah, because everything I mean from when we first met each other, I feel like everything was moving kind of fast. I mean I went slow, but then like it was still kind of going fast, and I just felt like the long distance should have, and I think it did help us. I mean, what, 2 years in Italy, and she was pregnant.
Like, as hard as it is to admit, I think it did make us stronger because I had to learn how to be without you again.
Yeah.
Because I was by myself for a really long time up
that was
until I
deeper than you
started
think.
dating you,
Yeah.
right? Like 23 years to myself, and then now for 2 years I'm with this person every single day, and now I forgot how to be me. without you. And then you're away, so I have to figure it out and be me without you.
No, that's a great interpretation of that.
But no, I'm so sorry. I didn't
You good.
cut you off. But like, and this isn't a diss at you, by the way. Don't think that. But I think doing that though, being away, I felt like should have benefited you too, like, because you're used to.
No, it did. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, yeah.
Like
I'm saying,
time
like,
away from you
cause,
taught me how to be by myself
because
again.
for me, like, I wouldn't say I always rely on myself. At the end of the day, like, you need yourself. At the end of the day, mentals, physicals, all type of stuff, right? And then you're always gonna need that partner to elevate you to make yourself better, which I agree with. But then I feel like there's at some points where you shouldn't depend on people. Like, it doesn't matter in what stage or whatever, you need to be able to know that you can be by yourself at some points, even if it's through the good times or through the bad times. Okay, and if you rely on other people, that's gonna lead to bad habits in life going as you grow and grow and grow. And that's why I feel like that benefit us from long distance. Yeah, and it did help her because before I left and when I stayed home full time, it's a different person. So in a good way. So
Definitely. Did you grow with both parents?
so my parents separated when I was 10ish, something like that. Yeah, 10ish. But then I lived with my grandparents with my mom from 12 on. So being able to see my grandparents, 50,
60
60
something, yeah.
60 something years married.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So
He got like both dynamics because having separated parents and then your mom moving on into a new relationship and that being like that leaving you with just your grandparents to grow up with like also brings a different right because it's not like your actual parent that you're like seeing every day. And then I think like him having that model of his grandparents and how many years they've been together is like what you were looking for with your own relationship. And then like meeting someone who has that dynamic with parents who've been together for like 30 years, right? And then like being welcome into a family like that, I think is what you were looking for in someone.
yeah, I mean that was a big part of I think how we lasted so long. I didn't have that family background. Like if you if there's people in my family that I can trust, I mean you can count on my fingers. Like I mean that's just life in general though. Like I have a really 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 tight circle. I don't really I've been backstabbed so many times by family members and friends and all that type of stuff. So I mean my prior relationships, their family didn't respect me. And so I told myself when I get into another relationship, like their family has to respect me. And her family was the first to respect me. So
And what he was doing.
and for what
It's
I was
not
doing,
easy,
that was another thing
you
too.
know.
Because
Right.
most people they want the education, they want you to have a
9 to 5.
high 5-figure, 6-figure job, like like.
Mhm.
But I was doing basketball and I was working, like not a $1 billion job, but I was
Yeah.
working and doing basketball,
Imagine
working
being
a good
parent
job.
where
but-
you're like your daughter is now in the hands of someone who's leaving for that long, right? And then can you trust him to not break your daughter's heart? Like just imagine if you're a parent of a daughter, right? Of a like girl.
Yeah.
Right? That's it's something. It's
I used to
something
want a
think
girl,
about.
and then those ideas come to mind. Like, yeah, I don't know if that would have said well,
Yeah,
because
it's hard.
it's hard. One, you can't prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it's just so much. Like, if you give your daughter enough game, then now she's running it and breaking hearts, or
Yeah.
like even still somebody funnels in there and breaks her heart, or then not finding love and
Right.
like.
But
now
it's like
you
a
can-
double-edged sword, right? It's like, do
Exactly.
you want her to get her heart broken, or do you want her to be the one breaking hearts, and then never being able to be in a stable relationship?
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, I think it was just hard for, well, in your past relationships, for the parents to be accepting of like what you're trying to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys found each other. Seems like you pretty much needed each other.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons. So what was like your ideas of marriage? Like what did it look like when it wasn't in the present?
Well, for me, I think I always had this dream of like, you know, you move in together, white picket fence, get married at 25, have kids, like, but everything we did was like in reverse. So we got pregnant and then we got married, but we were engaged, and I think that was one thing that kept us together is like he promised me before he left that like he would propose at some point, and he did that. So he stuck to his word. And then now I could like see the future for real, you know, like, okay, this is the father of my children, this is the person I'm going to be with forever, right? And so that's like what I envisioned as a little girl, and obviously that didn't happen that way, but you kind of just like have to roll with it. And life, you can't really like plan all the way through, because things are just going to be thrown at you, and you're just going to have to learn how to deal with it, figure it out, and like adjust to what's happening to you, or like what's being thrown at you. So yeah, a little bit different. But
for sure.
yeah, I don't know how you envisioned it before.
I mean, I don't think like
The fairy tale idea wasn't really.
yeah, I don't like the fairy tale aspect. I mean, at the end of the day, we live in California, you know. I mean,
We're
it's
buying a house together.
like, you know, so
That's
it's
for
like,
sure.
I mean, so it's like, I mean, like I love being married. I mean, but it wasn't like something that like I was like, oh, I gotta do it by this time, that time, like, you know, like I'm just like, if it happens type thing. I mean, but also you can't look at life as, you know, something can happen every day
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that's not on the path of what you're trying to do. You know, I literally, I wasn't on track to propose to her before I left, and that was the summer of 2020.
21. Wait, no, 22.
I proposed in 22. Yeah, just summer 2022, because
Mm-hmm.
then I left.
Then you left in October
Yeah,
of that year.
I wasn't on track to do that.
Yeah.
But I woke up one morning and I was just like, this is looking like it's a real thing, going to Italy. I gotta figure out something to where to give her some type of security for when I'm gone for 9 months or however long it would be. It was really, I think the first year was like 10,
Yeah.
because we made
You
playoffs.
stayed there just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that was, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see myself getting married before 30.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. If you told me, like, if someone were to come up to me and tell me that I would have been married at 27 and were like married with a kid at that, I would have told them they're lying, like straight to their face. Cause, like, I met you when I was 23, 22, 23,
I think.
right?
So I was 20.
Because you were 24, but turning 25, obviously.
No, you were 22, turning 23,
Yeah.
and I was 24, turning 25.
And so I never, like, how was I supposed to know that, like, 5 years later from that point I'd be engaged and married later on the next year? Like, I would have just told them they were lying, because that was not happening. And, like, I was the last in my friend group and, like, my circle, my cousins, like, to even be in a relationship. So then I was like, this is a joke, right? Like, it's not gonna last. And then it did, obviously. First relationship turned into the last, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
That's the goal, right?
Right.
Most.
Well, you don't
I
get that
guess.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes, like, trial and error.
I know, and then you didn't have the trial and error that
I had
most
the trial and
people
error
have.
with the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Some of us
still,
have
I
to
think
try to
marriage
figure it out with
is,
multiple people, and it's
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
it's hard to start again, for sure. Coming from somebody that's been in and out of a relationship, but yeah, it's definitely hard to start over again. like even now where I'm at is still.
Yeah.
We'll get into that obviously, but yeah, it's.
I think it's like the hardest part, or I think for me, why I really tried to make it work even when I felt like it wasn't gonna work is because of the starting over, right? Like, I don't want to have to go on a date and ask their favorite color. Like, I can literally say his order anywhere because I just know it, right? Like, at the top of my head because I've been with him for so long. And I'm not saying like do that, like stay in a relationship because of that, but it's like once you've already learned a person and like you know their tendencies, you know how to deal with them, and you know their habits and you're okay with it, right? It's like why break that and then try to like start all over again, like back to square one. And that's even harder, I think.
For especially for mediocre things, I think a lot
Yeah.
of people kind of just let go. People fall out of love and shit, but I think a lot of people just, as far as our generation, it's easy to just give up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've been, I don't know how we all kind of got prepped to this just giving up thing,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of us in the generation that just give up on.
And then also like our world is getting smaller and smaller. Like, you know, and they say, oh, such a small world, like you know who. So then they've already been with somebody that you know, and then it's like, well, do I even want to continue with you? Because I don't, you know what I mean? It's like the world is getting smaller for us.
Without a doubt. How do you guys deal with like gender roles? Is that a thing?
Do you want to start? Or, I mean, I think we really do a good job of like knowing what we have to do and like what responsibilities each other holds, especially in the household. Like he just knows he has to do the garbage and clean certain things, and it's like I make dinner.
I don't think it exists in our household.
It doesn't.
We have 10 people living in the house, so.
But everybody kind of like does what they do for them, like what works for them.
Right.
Like for us, it's like if I cook, he'll wash dishes. You know, it's never like I have to do everything. And like same thing with watching the baby. Like there's this norm of like, oh, moms have to do everything, and we do a lot. Like I do a lot, trust me. But he also does a lot. Like I'm never feeling like he's not doing enough. And like it's the little things that I think women take over more, like the packing, you know, preparing the baby's things. But he's more than capable of doing it if he had to. Like
Right.
if I wasn't around and he had to take the baby out for the day, he would know what to bring, he would know what to pack, you know. But it's just I think easier for women to take things on because we just think differently, right? Like our processes, and this is like a general statement, not even just like with us in a relationship, but I think like women would just rather do things on their own so that they don't have to like go and fix what you guys had already done, even though it was trying to be helpful. And I think that's just like something that people need to accept, right? Like women are just going to do what they do because we can do it faster and in our own way. But that's like me personally as a woman.
I think that's people in general. Like, say if you want something done right, do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
What you feel like needs to be in the diaper bag might not register in his head.
In
to
his
like,
head.
all right, let me make sure this is in there. Make sure this is in there. I'll put some wipes in there. I'll put some applesauce in there. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's like more of a nurture thing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like even when my son was about to be born, I wasn't thinking about what he needed. Like, I still was trying to wrap my head around it. It took me a long time to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
A couple years after he was born to even like, oh shit, I'm a father. I have to do father things. But 26, I don't know if I can say I was a child, but still man boy in my head. As he was 25, before he was born, like we needed shit in the house, so I came up on some money and I bought a TV. And she's like, nigga, like we need a car seat.
A TV.
And I was like, yeah, like that shit didn't register to me because
Yeah.
in my head, you know, I'm still being my selfish, all about me self.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, damn. Could have mentioned that earlier when I told you I was going to buy the TV, but got it.
Right.
So getting into that, like, mind frame of being a parent and having to do all these extra duties that you're not necessarily used to.
Mm-hmm. But I think like going back to you living in Italy is like you had to do so many things for yourself that like probably somebody would have done for you if you were still home, and that like kind of taught you to just like be a little more helpful in your own way because you had to be so independent.
I mean, but I was already like that though. I mean, like I
Yeah,
can.
but you weren't forced to be doing it on your own because
Yeah, I
you
wasn't
still had your
forced,
grandparents, you
but
still had me around, your mom. Like when you're out there, you're doing like everything on your own, straight up.
well,
You're
yeah,
doing
I
your
mean, I
grocery
didn't.
shopping. You know, like things that you didn't have to do but could do, you were forced to do. So then, like, you still kept those habits coming back home, and I see that. Like, and I don't think our generation now kind of is like the old school ways where like women did the cleaning and they stayed home. Like girls nowadays are like, nah, I got my own job, I got my own money.
The
Like,
breadwinners
you
for
know?
sure. I was just talking about that. Like women are out hustling men by far.
Yeah, and then they feel like, oh, I don't have to rely on you, I don't need you, like, and that's why people also like split up because the guys feel like they're getting like overshadowed by the girl, and that's not how it's supposed to be because of ego. It's like it's
Yeah,
just there naturally.
I told her that day one, you gonna be the breadwinner whatever you end up doing.
And
I
guys just
probably-
have to accept that.
I
you
probably
know?
told her that probably within our first month even talking.
Yeah.
I
you
don't know.
did.
I never. I mean, obviously that was 6 years ago. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna be a professional basketball player, but still, even now, it's like, I mean, I don't. She has 2 degrees.
But I don't see it as breadwinner though. I don't like.
I mean, at the end of the
I
day,
feel like if you're both
we
able
need
to
each other's
provide,
money at the
yeah,
end of
like
the
your
day.
money is my. At the end of like when you get married, everything is like each other's and not like just mine anymore. You know, like I may have seemed like the breadwinner before we were married, but now it's just like, well, we're splitting everything, honestly. And if we got it, you know, like if I have extra, then okay, whatever, it's coming out of my pocket, like big whoop, and vice versa. So.
Are we listening to that? This is advice from a married couple, you guys. Earth to young women
I
out
know,
there.
it's rare, right? I mean,
Yeah,
30
nah,
and under. No, I'm kidding.
to hear.
No, I just be seeing some like a lot of people like they won't even like give you like the time of day if you don't have a 6-figure job. I'm like
Oh,
Yeah,
I
or
know.
like, you know, the 50-50 at restaurants. It's like,
oh, that's
like something I've
That-
never, like, why does the guy have to pay for everything? You know? Maybe first date, okay, cool, you
I
want to
don't
take me
think
out,
I've
cool.
never been in a relationship. If you don't support 50-50, I'm not gonna be with you.
Yeah,
I don't
like you said, we live in fucking California.
like,
That's not a thing, and
Yeah.
it's like fucking 10% of people that make over 6 figures or some weird shit. It's probably even lower than that. But even in the Bay Area,
Like, even
6
they're
figures
struggling.
is still fucking like low income in certain
Yeah.
areas. Like, be
Yes.
fucking for real.
I mean, there's a time and place where like, okay, like if this person wanted to do more, fine, right?
Or like
But,
a
like-
special occasion, right? Like you want to treat the other person to
But
like
like,
a
it's
birthday.
it's
or-
crazy to me how like that 50-50 stuff. Like, if you say what I just said, and like, oh, you're doing 50-50, they'll just literally walk out. I'm like, I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
be, if you want to be in that era where like the man pays for the house and this, but then the woman has to do everything within the house, cook, clean, take care of the kids, whatever. I mean, that's hey, do you right? But
Yeah.
to
Another
me,
part of it.
but to
Yeah.
me, like the whole cook, clean, and taking care of your kids thing. While like, look, we both know we gotta work. We
Yeah,
both
have
know
to work.
we both know we gotta take care of our kid together. I don't want it. I never wanted it to be a one person thing to where then it's like, okay, well now our son is gonna be all about this person, that person. No, this is a team effort. We're raising a family together.
Team effort.
It's not like, okay, yeah, I just got home from work, working from 6, and I gotta sit in 2-hour traffic on the way home, and I'm tired. But then the best thing about coming home is, okay, I get to take care of my son, our son. That yeah, it sucks. I'm on my feet 8 hours a day. It's terrible, hard labor work. But we got. Now I have another job to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, then let me go home and lay down, put the TV on, and eat dinner.
Put your
and
feet up,
go
yeah.
to sleep.
No.
That's not
It can't be that
Like-
way.
like being married. I wouldn't categorize it as another job, but it's just like, okay, you got another responsibility to do.
No,
As a
shit, it is
father-
another full-time
As a
job.
father, as
Yeah.
a husband, all type of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, you don't just get to if you have goals, you're trying to get your own spot. You're trying to do this or whatever, like there is no rest.
It's like all about compromise. You
Yeah.
know, like you have to meet each other halfway for it to work, or it's not. Because one person's gonna get burnt out, one person is gonna have to take on everything,
Right.
and then that is gonna cause the problems in the marriage or relationship in general, right? Like you can't just rely on one person to do everything. And like I think for us, what makes it easy to know that we have to help each other is that we're both like in the same boat of like we commute. You know, we're not just like a 10-minute drive from work, and that takes a toll on us. But then like the morning phone calls that were on the phone while I drive to work and while he waits to start work, it's like you have to find little things where like you're still about each other and not just like letting your job and the baby or whatever other responsibilities you have kind of like take over your marriage or relationship. So yeah, compromise and understanding what each other needs.
I just want to say one thing before we end that topic. Kings, stand on your 50-50. Don't,
Oh my gosh.
don't let nobody like at the end of the day. I also when I see by the 50-50 thing, it's like it feels like if you don't do 50-50, it's like the man has to be like, it's almost like paying for a relationship. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I at the last time I checked, if you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend, and husband, wife, all that type of stuff, right? Like this is a team. Like I just said earlier, like don't feel like you have to do everything just to impress one person.
Facts. And we don't live in a day and age where that's
Possible.
it's possible, but it's like not even worth it, because then you run into women that can't do the womanly duties that they want to ascribe to.
Yeah.
Like being an adult is cooking, cleaning, and all the good shit. Like you should be doing that as an adult in general. So like, what else is there that you have to provide if you want to be taken care of? Essentially, that's what it is.
Yes.
We gotta figure this shit out. Like I hate when I hear this generation of men and this, like you never lived in no fucking other generations. So how do you know what they were dealing with? Like they still have fucking problems too.
Yeah.
Right.
We have our own set of problems because we're a different generation with more technology, more money, more resources, whatever in the fuck. They were dealing with what they were dealing with. Especially like the older couples. Like they were dealing with way more different shit.
Yeah.
And it was a time where women actually couldn't make fucking money. Like
Or weren't
they were
allowed
getting,
to work.
Yeah, you feel me? Like
Yeah.
they was getting kibbles and bits even if they did get a job. Now it's a whole different setting.
And that's why I said like I don't think there's any assigned like gender roles anymore because we're all different now.
And there's so many genders apparently.
And there's a bunch of genders, so how can we? So that's why that's a good point of like as a human and as an adult, like you have these responsibilities no matter what gender, color, race, it doesn't matter what you are. But yeah, so good point.
Yeah. Don't
Come
cancel
for
me.
me.
He's still like
Nothing-
king.
nothing-
I'm standing on it.
Nothing's gonna affect me. Cancel culture is funny to me.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever be canceled.
You can't even like say anything without someone taking offense to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just dumb shit.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, be who you are and let me be who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's how this works.
They'll probably
It's
accept
not like,
you more, yeah.
oh, what I'm dealing with in life is better than what you're dealing with, so you have to respect what I'm going through and how I represent myself more than I have to respect you. No, we should all respect each other pretty evenly.
Yeah.
Equally, I guess.
Regardless of what you're going through.
Yeah.
Plus, you never know what anyone's going through. So the part where you said be kind to each other in the beginning, it like holds more weight.
Yeah, because we tend to be pretty vicious towards one another, just in general. It's a lot going on too.
Yeah.
And then social media don't make it no fucking better.
And that's where they get the whole like, oh, men need to pay for everything
Yeah,
on social
like,
media because they see that.
that debate is fucking ridiculous. And then it's like those men out there like, oh, I'm provider, I pay, and shut the fuck up, bro. Like, if you're able to do that,
Congrats.
clap for you. Bet you don't live in California.
that too.
And even the ones that do, like, bro, if you live in California, you're not too much doing this with a regular job. You got a side hustle, you got your own business, you got, like, it's a team effort at the end of the day. Like they said, it's a team effort. Be a team. Like I don't know if y'all seen like the balloon pop with the Mozzie dude. And she's like, oh, what's your ideal first date? Oh, I'm going to pick you up in my Rolls Royce and 1,000 roses and go get your feet and your hair and your...
Get your hair done, get your nails done, pick you up in my double R. Probably got 1,000 roses in the Rolls Royce. Look.
Yeah.
Like, that's boozy as hell, bro.
But then why is that like someone else's responsibility? Like if you want your nails done, if you want your hair done, and if you want like nice clothes, like why is that on him to do that for you?
My dad should want me to look good for him.
Yeah, but you should want to look good for yourself. And not only that, but it's like you guys are both making money, so why can't... Like, I get if he wants to treat you once in a while, like, hey, you know, like, you haven't got your nails done, or what?
Facts.
Go have, like, a self-care day. Okay, I got you.
Just like get your nose done.
Your nails.
Just like get your nose
Only
done.
you would need to get your nails done with your Italian self.
Didn't you say that she sounded?
I think I was still focused on topics. I didn't really
I was like,
hear.
get your nose done. That's a
Nails.
crazy statement to say.
I'm not coming for anybody with a big nose. You got what you got. Alright? Your nails done.
That's
Which you do sometimes, like you'll offer for me to like go take a day or
Like
whatever.
my nails done.
You're killing me, Smalls. We're not on the same page, and that's part of marriage. Sometimes you're just not on the same page, and that's okay.
Right. Sometimes you're not on the same page.
Just turn it over to the next one. On to the next is what they say, right?
On to the next. So, do you guys have any questions for me?
I do. I'll ask it. I think everyone wants to know why you're not married yet.
At this big old age, why I'm not married. My idea of marriage scares people, I guess. Speaking for myself, it's gotta make more sense to me than being in love. Like, I'm not just gonna go get married because I love somebody. It has to make a lot more sense to me than that, because, again, speaking for myself, it's like a business proposal. Like you guys said, you're a team. We're attached to each other, and we're building something. Like, I'm trying to be politically correct a little bit, but like, two people that just want to work at Wendy's for the rest of their life have no business getting married to me. Just because it's like,
You are so
what are y'all
funny.
doing, bro? Like, if y'all don't want more, y'all just want to be in love, y'all can just be in love. Y'all don't have to get it signed off by the government to be in love. And then you get down to what about if one person is sick and now you're the beneficiary or this? Like, all right, the sense of security, got it. But just being in love isn't enough for me. And it scares people, the way I talk about it and my thought process. And where I'm at right now, at this big old age, speaking for myself again, spending the next, based on my history and what I've been through and what I do and how I've operated in life, having sex with the same person for the next 30 years sounds ridiculous.
Way to be honest.
Yeah,
Follow the truth, right?
it just don't, that's just not who I've ever been. So it just don't, and a lot of people are fearful of that. It's like, no, I'm not trying to replace you. It's just like, I don't know how to operate yet with one person. I haven't ever done that. Like, I've always been a cheater. They know that, so I'm not telling myself. It's just something I've always done, and it's, I was working through it with therapy, and she was just like, maybe you're just not a monogamous person. Like, that's a thing. And, it's possible that I'm probably just not a monogamous person. Like, I have one of my friends, about our age too, he's a little older. He just got married, and he made a whole 180, because they say 360. 360 means you turn back and go right back to where you was. 180 means you do the complete turn.
That makes sense.
The exact opposite. So, like, I seen the 180 in him, and I'm very proud of him because he was definitely promiscuous like I was.
Yeah.
And we got a real similar track record. But to see him do that transition, he like, you can do it, cuz. Like, you discipline. Like, I'm not Muslim, but I just did Ramadan. And everybody's like, nigga, you have the discipline. Like, utilize the discipline. And I don't think I'm ready for that yet. And also, maybe I just haven't met the right one.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like, there was a period in my life where I had just kind of got caught up in a situation of dealing with two women. They end up knowing each other and some whole other shit. And it was just kind of like, I was in a rut. Like, I didn't know where I was, who I was, what I was doing with life. And that I started doing this love journey and search and talking to older men that were married and just kind of like, how did you know? They like, when you know, you'll know.
Is that true?
I mean, so prior to meeting her, I just got a relationship, and I was trying to have my, Nino era, and
A whole phase.
but like over the years though, I had a saying, like, it's like, okay, like, I'm gonna keep on going out, right? Like, regardless if I'm with somebody or without somebody, but like the whole idea of like, I'm gonna take a year to myself. Like, I get that in some aspects, but like, I always told myself, like, okay, like, what if I go to a club and like I meet somebody? I close the door on them because it's just like, I'm trying to be.
Like your year's not up yet.
I'm trying to do me, right? But then it's like, but wait, what if I push someone away I'm supposed to be with, right? So like, when I got out of my previous relationship before her, like I had that same mindset for a little bit, like how you what you just said, and then I was just like, damn, wait, because I one of my old friends, like, I was like, man, next relationship I get, like, she's got to be into shoes.
He had like a list,
all
like a
this type of
checklist,
stuff,
you know,
right?
like check box.
Like, it has
check
to be
box.
this, but then like he looked at me crazy, and I was just like, how rare that's gonna be to find someone that you want and it's just pretty much like you, right? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like every category, but it was checking off most of the boxes. Like, it was like
80-20.
Yeah, like, pretty much. And I was just like, I mean, there's never gonna be someone that's 100, right? But it's like, that's probably the closest I'm gonna get, and I'm like, whoa, she's into shoes, she hoops, like, very attractive, right? I'm like, what if, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if I just say no, I'm just gonna back off, I'm just keep on doing my thing. Like, there's so many shitty people out there saying, I'm pushing this good one away.
Facts.
Why? Because I want to, like,
have your Nino era.
Explore.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't believe in
sure.
it, so I was just like, I see what I get that. That's why I didn't want to ask the question. I was just like, hey.
But have you ever had like some requirements that a girl needed to meet for you to be like, okay, I could like be with her long term? Or are you kind of just like, okay, I'll learn about you, and if that like meets my needs, it's okay?
So for me, now at this big age, my life experience, therapy, and all the shit, it's not necessarily a list. Like, me and my therapist went down as something similar to a list of the qualities I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I've encountered them. I don't think I'm ready. I think I'm still fearful, and I don't necessarily know if subconsciously I feel like I deserve it because of my history with women, my patterns that I've steered away from now, and just where I'm at mentally. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if I'm there yet still. Yeah. And who knows if I'll ever get there. But yeah, there's still a yearning there for it. I've definitely encountered, I can at least say 2 that were 80. And I wasn't able, one, I was too young to accept it, and the other one kind of came, it was bad timing, is what I can say. But one thing for sure I want to do with whoever it may be for the long term is see every season. Like some people just see the happy shit and be like, okay, this is my person. And then when they're broke, or when they're depressed, or when they're grieving, like when you see all of that, are you still able to deal with this person? So I kind of want to go through all of that with a person
Yeah.
before, I'd be like, okay, this
Like
is
you're
it.
actually committed.
Yeah,
For
like
the
this is
long
it
haul.
for sure. Yeah, like if I can deal with you in every aspect,
Yeah.
because just like with kids, which you guys have learned, new parents and all, you're gonna have to relearn these fucking kids all the time. So even just like with a life partner, you're gonna have to relearn that person all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be constant change. Your experiences are gonna be different. As we get older, it's gonna be more deaths and job losses and whatever, injuries, all type of shit.
Life circumstances. Yeah.
So it's a bunch of shit out of your control that you can't, you need that partner to be able to be receptive to your responses to these, your trauma responses to the trauma that happens throughout the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like being able to learn somebody in totality, not just take, oh, I like you, I love you, we have great sex, we have a lot in common. What
Deeper
about
than
when
that.
we don't have shit in common? Like, what do those moments look like? So that's where I'm at with it, mentally.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Valid. Yeah. Like there are so many things I think that have changed us, especially the kid aspect, because now it's like it's not just me and him anymore. Like sometimes the bonding goes away. The things that we used to do with each other like can't do anymore, or like as often as we'd like. So like I think there have been parts and like challenges where I'm like, man, this is getting really tough. And it's like because we're so tired dealing with our jobs, and then we come home and then have to deal with the baby, it's like, well, when are we going to deal with each other? I guess not. We'll just put it under the rug and then it'll blow up later, and that's not healthy either.
Right.
So like I guess moving forward, like you want to create healthy habits no matter what changes you're going through together and individually, because when someone's grieving and you have to deal with them, they're a different person. When someone's injured, which I had to do in the beginning of our relationship, when he hurt his shoulder, like I had to take care of you, right? And I've had a lot of loss in the last couple years, and you've had to deal with me in that aspect. So I mean, you have to be there for each other, and it's nice to have someone to lean on, but for the right reasons.
Right. Well, shout out to y'all. So my end all question is, I'm gonna change it a little bit for y'all. What's one truth you had a hard time accepting about him, and vice versa?
You can go first. Because I think I want to hear too. What you got?
Just one? No. I mean, just off the top of my head, I think she cares too much about other people. She cares about other people. She loves more. She loves hard compared to other people. Person for years.
But I don't think I give people the benefit of the doubt unless they deserve it. But that's just like my point of view of myself. You can think differently.
Different interpretation.
Yeah.
Right. And do you want me to tell you what the hard truth is about you?
It's not
You said it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna.
Your whole persona of being this like nonchalant, non-emotional kind of person who holds grudges and doesn't ever learn how to move on from something that has like traumatized you to a point where you don't feel like people deserve to be in your life is like a big downfall. And it's the total opposite of me, right? Like I give people the benefit of the doubt and you kick everybody out. And that's just like, you know that about yourself, And
100%.
like I think that it's gonna be hard to ever try and get better because you've grown up in so many like different situations that have made you the way you are right now, and I feel like you're such like you shut down easily. Like it takes one scenario, like if you cross him once, there's no getting back.
Boundaries. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
The
having
little
us.
banter at the end was fun.
I hope you guys enjoyed our talk.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys. I hope you guys continue to have success. I hope you become a little bit more open to the love she's trying to give. And I hope you
Stop giving too much love.
exactly.
Stop loving so hard.
Yeah. Sometimes it can come off as like a forced thing, and it's like, just from a man perspective. Like I've had women try to love me, and I've had women tell me like, "Nigga, let somebody love you," and it just don't. You know, I'm not really receptive to it, which could be a trauma response of my own.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I appreciate both of you for showing up. Give you your flowers. Pro basketball player.
Retired.
Speaking accolades right now. Retired. Pro basketball player. And a woman with multiple degrees. So shout out to y'all because I know.
And a mother.
And parents, actually.
And a minority.
And minorities.
Shout out to us colored
You
people.
feel me? So shout out to y'all for, making the sacrifices and getting to where you guys were getting to. Appreciate you for showing up, being vulnerable with me and one another. Hopefully y'all take something away from this for each other and for the future. And with that being said, this is the Holler the Truth podcast, giving you the truth for the future, the present, and the past. But I gotta ask, can you handle it?